Well, looking down at my smartphone, the president just tweeted regarding reality winner who was sentenced yesterday. An ex-NSA contractor to spend 63 months in jail over classified information. Gee, this is small potatoes compared to what Hillary Clinton did. So unfair, Jeff, talking to the Attorney General. Double standard. Well, Hillary Clinton advisor Mark Penn joins us right now. He's written an op-ed, and he's might as well react to what we're seeing right here. Mr. Penn, you say that there's a double standard that has been applied to Hillary Clinton and to the president.
Well, look, I think everybody sees that a double standard occurred here, that the investigations related to the email were handled with kid gloves, and the investigations related to Trump, handled with, let's say, all-out prosecutorial force of government and deep state might. And everybody sees how these two things were handled differently.
Yeah, I was reading this morning. I do believe I read that while Mr. Comey made the case, look, we looked through all of her emails. There were 700,000 of them, apparently. Apparently, they only looked at 3,000. So there does seem to be a different standard. But, Mark, why is that?
Well, look, I can't say why because I don't know the motivations. The important thing now is that this has real relevance to American politics. I don't care if they would have given them both light treatments, but to give one, particularly the newly elected president, from day one, this kind of scrutiny of all his campaign aides, of all his associates, and basically looking for crimes so that they could flip them. Look what happened here with Cohn. They found several $1 million of tax problems with Cohn, and they got him to plead to crimes that I don't even think were crimes when it comes to election law.
Right. And the news this morning, the tabloids here in New York and elsewhere, it's all about how it sounds like the guy who runs the National Enquirer is getting an immunity deal so that he can kind of connect some dots about were there any capture and kill situations that could have been campaign violations.
Well, and you see, he's the person actually making the contribution or expenditure, and so they're not really interested in that. They're only interested in tying things to Trump on matters that we already decided. Look, I went through impeachment with President Clinton. These issues about what happened with women, if they're consensual and legal activities, can't be turned into crimes, and the American people won't stand for that. Same thing with John Edwards, who was acquitted, and the FEC ruled these things were not campaign violations, they're personal expenditures.
Well, if there weren't a double standard, I mean, look what Jeff Sessions said yesterday. He said there should be, I'm running the department, there should be never political consideration. If that's the case, there shouldn't be a double standard.
Well, look here. There's about $130,000 that went to Stormy Daniels, October 27th, would never have been reported before the election anyway, so the whole thing is immaterial. And you have millions of dollars spent by the Democratic law firm incorrectly reported as legal research when in fact it went to ultimate beneficiaries of GPS fusion and a foreign spy. That was covered up, and yet they do nothing about that. Now, look, either say both of these are civil matters, or both of these got to get the same investigation.
Let's see what happens. Mark Penn, always a pleasure. Have a good weekend, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Meanwhile, straight ahead, this illegal immigrant was charged